If you enjoy the Low Scale Gaming Podcast, please leave us a like, review, and subscribe. Any feedback is welcomed, and I hope you enjoy the show.
Hello, and welcome to the Low Skill Gaming Podcast. I'm your host for today, Conan Jones, and I've got Inferior Mage here with me, and Fantasy is not here, so it's just me and Mage. Hi, Mage. What's up?
Hello. Sorry, it's been a couple weeks since I've been on. I've been busy.
You've been out on
It's
assignment, so
been
now
like
you get to report
yeah,
back to us. How was your field work?
it was fun. So actually, I so last week I went to on a camping trip.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was really funny because Fantasy completely forgot that I was going on a camping trip, even though I told you guys so long ago. I was like,
And you
"Hey, I'm doing."
sent us the screenshot of it.
Yeah, it was really funny. um, but no, so I went to the Black Mesa with a couple friends that I've known since high school. And I've never been to the Black Mesa before, but it's so for those of you who don't live in Oklahoma or
Know about
don't really know
Oklahoma.
don't know about Oklahoma or whatever, because I know Oklahomans don't know our history very well much, but so the Black Mesa is the highest point in Oklahoma. It's I want to say like 8,000 feet above sea level. It's actually fairly high. It's in it's on the Panhandle, but not like it's in the Panhandle of Oklahoma, but not like in the middle of the Panhandle. No, it's on the very edge of the Panhandle, all the way to the west, almost touching New Mexico.
Yeah,
Like you could literally drive 15 minutes and you're in New Mexico from the Black Mesa.
if even that far.
Yeah, if even that far, it's so close to New Mexico. So Black Mesa, a little bit of history about it. It was once an Indian settlement, and it's relevant because that's a lot of our Native American artifacts and stuff that we found and learned about culture and Native American history and stuff like that was founded at the Black Mesa and excavated from the Black Mesa. It's yeah, so it's pretty neat. Um, kind of a fail of the week. Okay, I guess we can go to fails of the week because it's part of the trip. I don't know if you want to just go ahead and go to that section.
Oh yeah, no.
But I think this fail is better than the one I wrote down on our script, actually.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so on our trip to the Black Mesa, first of all, it took us like 5 hours to get there. It's a hefty drive.
Yeah, it's a good ways out there.
And western Oklahoma is barren. Like it's plains and nigh on desert. Like it is barren. So it's a 5 hour drive and it's like there's nothing to see really, and there's barely any stops. So it's like, hey, look, there's a convenience store. We need to go to the bathroom. We got to stop.
Yep.
If you feel like you might have to go to the bathroom in 30 minutes, let's stop now because we don't know if we'll find another place in 30 minutes.
For real though.
Yeah, it's barren out there, but the drive actually wasn't too bad. I have Spotify Premium, so basically we just kind of just listen to music and talk the entire way. On our hiking day on the Black Mesa, so the Black Mesa hike is 4.5 miles one way. And if you remember earlier, this podcast, I already talked about how high of elevation you're at. So you got 2.5 miles of kind of flat. You're basically walking to the Black Mesa. And then you got 3 miles of, or 2 miles of walking basically straight up onto the plateau. and that's just one way. So you also got to account for the trip back. So it's like a 9-mile hike. I'm a hefty dude, and I say hefty as in morbidly obese. And I vastly underestimated how much 9 miles was, or even 4.5 miles. Like, I was just like, yeah, sure, let's hike. It's gonna be fun. I get to see the Black Mesa. I've never seen it before. 2
Okay.
miles in, I'm just like, I don't know if I can do this, guys. If there's not a drop of shade because there's no trees on this
Oh yeah.
on this path. The trees are large bushes. Like that's what the trees are. The grass is weeds and stickers, you know?
And dirt and sand.
and dirt and sand and rocks,
Yeah.
lots and lots of rocks. But we got to the Black Mesa and on the Black Mesa, so I've walked 4.5 miles now, and I am dead on my feet. Like we were, our plan was to leave early, eat lunch on the Black Mesa, and then walk back. And we didn't bring enough. And I underestimated the wind and the heat and the distance so bad. So 4.5 miles, I am at the top of Black Mesa. All my water is gone. I'm a little overheated because of the sun and the wind, and I'm a little dehydrated because the wind just rips the water out of you.
Yeah.
And so I have another friend, and I thought I brought a decent amount of water. Like I brought like I want to say 24 ounces on my own. I had a friend that had like 40 ounces, and another friend that had another like 48 ounces of water. And so I was like, well, I'll be fine, you know. Well, no, I'm dehydrated and overheated already at the top of the Black Mesa because it's like a straight climb after the 2 mile mark to get to the Black Mesa, and it's all rocks and it's miserable.
Yeah.
And so like my friend's just like, are you okay, dude? And I'm like, no. And so we sat down a little bit early before the monument. And I was in the shade, and another friend gave me his water, and we tried to eat lunch, and I was so overheated that like food was not sitting well with me. So I had one of my sandwiches, and I was just like, I can't eat anymore.
Yeah, this is not going well.
It was not going well. And so my friends were like, okay, so we're going to go to the monument. You lay here and rest for a little bit. And so they went to the monument and took pictures and stuff. And my friends, I have one friend. One of my friends he's not fit or anything like that, but he's like, he's better off than me and my other friend. And my other friend was, he was struggling, but it wasn't nearly as bad as what I was doing. So he's like, I could probably make it. But he gave me his water, and he didn't think about the mile trip back. And I was dehydrated, so like, I'm going to drink this water.
Yeah.
And so I get the rest for like an hour while they're at the monument. And I'm feeling a little bit better. The sandwich gave me some needed calories that I needed. And we start making our trip back. And like mile 2, and we got all the way down from Black Mesa, and we're on mile 2. So we got 2 miles left before we get back to the car. And like I'm overheated again and dehydrated. My friend who gave me his water is overheated and dehydrated. My other friend, he's starting to get there because he was sharing his water. And so we're just like, we got to truck along, otherwise we're just like stuck here, you know? Yeah. And so they're much taller than me. They're like a good foot taller than me. They're both 6 foot and then some, like 6'5", 6'6", 6'8", in that area. They're both pretty tall guys, so they have a much longer stride than I do. And so I was just like, you guys, you just get to it. Don't worry about me. I'll just walk, and I'll get there eventually. You know, and like by the end of it, like the last mile, I was dead on my feet. I'm basically like chanting a mantra to get myself to the car. like I'm over here singing songs like ain't never gonna break my stride, or you know, just like random songs, and like not the whole song, but like just the chorus, just to get my mind focused on something other than what I'm doing, because I'm dying.
I will not die at Black Mesa today.
Yeah, it's like I'm not dying. I'm not gonna call a hell. Oh, my bad.
You're good.
I'm not going to call a freaking helicopter to get me. I'm not going to pay $10,000 to go to the hospital here.
Yeah.
I have a mile left. I'm going to make it.
I'm gonna go slow, and it's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna make it.
Yeah. And I did. We got back to the car, but like we were all dead. But luckily we had bought like 4 gallons of water with us on this trip because we knew that the shade was limited. And
Yeah.
I actually pressed for an extra gallon because we wanted to just bring 3. And like, well, 3 gallons for a 3-day weekend's not too bad. And I'm like, just get one more just in case. And we're like, okay. And thank God I got them to do that because we drank all those gallons of water. We ended up actually driving to Boise City to get another gallon of water for that weekend.
Yeah. Did you stop at the loaf and jug?
No, we actually just went to the Dollar General at Boise City.
Okay.
We didn't explore Boise City because that place was dirty.
Yeah. It's not the greatest place to go hang out.
No, like the entire time we were driving there, I'm just like, who lives in this area?
Why would you
why?
live here on purpose?
Why? Why do you hate yourself? Why would you live here? But like we all made it back, and we just spent like the rest of the day drinking a whole crap ton of water and staying either in my car with air conditioning or laying down at the tent because it wasn't really like it was actually in the mid 80s, so it wasn't like terribly hot that day, which is why we decided to hike because it was actually going to be hotter the next day. We hiked on Saturday. But like that wind, it just like the wind and no shade, it just dries you out.
Yeah, it just saps everything out of you.
Yeah, and I did not expect that. It's been a while since I hiked like that, and so yeah, that's kind of my fail, man. It was like that was a rough hike.
Yeah,
but I got to the Black Mesa, man. I did it. 200 pounds overweight, and I walked freaking 9 miles. You know, and not like an even ground 9 miles. I walked like 9 miles in rocky, rough terrain. You know.
Yeah, that stuff. The terrain out there is actually pretty rough. Like,
yeah, it was way rougher than I thought it was going to be. My boots, I got some new boots because our J.C. Penney's was having a liquidation sale because they're closing, and I bought some new boots that were really nice, and I got to wear those to the hike. But man, I had like 4 blisters on both my feet, and I was just like, oof. I was out.
Yeah.
And but then we had steak and potatoes for dinner and stuff, and it was great. So
did y'all take them to cook out there?
Yeah, we came and cooked. There's a grill. Most campsites nowadays have grills on them.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if you guys had done that. Y'all'd stop somewhere or something like that to eat dinner.
No, we took them with us. We bought New York strips at the Walmart in Weatherford before we're leaving to the Black Mesa.
Nice.
So it was a good trip. Food was good. Fellowship was good. It was nice to get away from society.
Even though you almost died, but
even though like that was the worst part. I mean, the Black Mesa itself was kind of a letdown because it's like, because like on your way hiking, you're like, oh, look at all these plains, and you're like, maybe the Black Mesa will be a little different. And no, it's exactly the same. It's just plains, just higher.
Yeah, it looks.
I don't know what I was expecting. It is a plateau. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was just kind of like, all right.
But yeah, as you're driving out there, you're just like, oh, it's the exact same. Like, if somebody wouldn't be in the car telling me, hey, that's the highest point in Oklahoma, you would just drive right past it and would never know the difference.
Yeah, for sure. And we did come up with an inside joke though, because we couldn't figure out which plateau was the Black Mesa, because there's like 12 dozen plateaus around it that are from the ground up look equally in height.
Yeah.
And the trail was kind of windy, so you couldn't really tell which way it was leading to. And so like every little hill, we're like, hey, look, that's the Black Mesa.
So
Even
then
like the random stuff, it's like, look, the Black Mesa.
on the way home was just the Black Mesa.
Yeah, like on the way home, we see it one hill in this wide flat plains. Like, hey, look, that's the Black Mesa.
Oh man, it's those stupid little inside jokes that are the best, though. Like,
Oh man, it was great. It was great.
well,
The trip itself was pretty good. Hike not so much, but that's more my fault than the actual hike itself.
yeah. Well, I'm
I
glad
imagine
you.
if I was about 50 pounds lighter, I would have gone much differently.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you at least enjoyed yourself. Like, all things considered, like that's what it's about. So, hanging out with buds and doing that whole stuff. So,
Yeah, it was good. It was good times.
say I was telling you guys about it. Whenever I was younger, there's a church camp up there that I went to when I was younger, so I'm pretty well versed in that whole area. But whenever I was at that camp, we weren't allowed to wear shorts, and the camp was always like 4th of July weekend. So it's just god awful, miserable, hot the entire time we're out there and having to wear jeans out there.
Why would they force you to wear jeans?
I guess the people who owned the physical campsite were very strict in their wording of allowing there to be a camp for children there, that they had it to follow their super old school, non-denominational mindset. So it was one of those things.
Make sure those kids kept it in their pants and left room for Jesus.
Yeah, pretty much. Just so it's
Because shorts do that.
yeah,
Shorts are going to stop that or start that. You know.
yeah, no, exactly. So it was one of those kind of deals. But not long after I got too old to go, they changed that rule. So that was no fun. I mean, it's good for them they changed it, but like for me,
Way to sound like a boomer who's like, man, kids these days have it so much easier than I did. Well, you know, isn't that the goal?
oh yes, it is the goal, and it's like
Are we wanting things better for our children?
I'm glad it's changed. Don't get me wrong. I want to express that it sucked when I did it.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you.
Oh man. Okay, so I guess my fail. What I need to actually scroll to it. What is my fail this week? Oh, okay. So this kind of it rolls into topic one also. So we got an email last week, saying, "Hey, on Tuesday, we need to have an office-wide meeting, and everybody has to be there." I think we got it on Friday. So she was like, "Hey, if you have any meetings, let's get them rescheduled. You've got a couple days notice. Like everybody has to be on the Zoom call at 9 a.m." So we're just like, "Yay! What is this going to be about?"
It's like, that sounds awful. All right.
Yeah, I was like, "Cool, somebody's done something dumb, and now we're all in trouble." So we get to that meeting at 9, and just to kind of paraphrase the hour and a half long Zoom call, was just like, hey, it's the kind of everybody's going back to school. We're getting a lot of cases because of that. Everybody's capped out and can't take any more stuff. And as soon as you get one closed out, you're getting another one. The only way to get through this is if we'll all close cases, so that way we're closing more than we're getting. So we all had to be like, okay, I'm going to close 4 cases a week for 2 weeks, and then that's going to get us out of this slump. I'm just like, who? So they went around at the end of it, and we're just like, okay, Conan, are you gonna commit to closing that many cases for 2 weeks? And it's like, of course everybody's going to say yes, because we're getting called out in a meeting like that. Like,
yeah, duh.
and it's like,
But they have like, I don't know. I know when I was working permanency planning, if CPS was having issues, then we got some overflow that we would have to take. Is that not what's happening? Nobody's going to help you guys out.
I honestly have no idea if permanency does anything to help us out. Um,
Because I
if
know I had to.
they might, and I'm just
that's what
not
we did all the
aware.
time.
Yeah. Um, I know I was approached about being they called it a SWAT team, but the the actual title I said was subject to change. But to be part of a group that if somebody is like needing help closing a case because it's about to go backlog, or it's like too many it's getting too old, or you've got a failure to locate or something like that, that's going to be an easy closure or something, like whatever the criteria is, this group would jump in and help that person close all these cases down. And I guess I'm one of the more senior members now.
Oh yeah, because you've been with them for 1 year.
Yeah, because I've been there for a year, and now I'm one of the oldest ones.
That's rough.
Like, because we had a couple threes, but they've all gotten moved around or promoted to different buildings. So now,
So are you going to become a 3
n-
in 1 year?
I still have I still have another year before I can promote to a 3, since I don't have
Well,
my
I mean,
master's.
the pay's okay. The pay's a lot better, but that the extra duty's really annoying.
Yeah, so it's one of those deals where I'm just like, if
But then you can become a supervisor and don't have to do anything.
see, like, our supervisors are like all over the place, or at least mine is. But I feel like she also is one of those that signs up for extra stuff, because I feel like she's
Feels like her life is unfulfilled, and so she needs to do her part, or more than her part.
I mean, if you want to call her out that hard, I guess
I was like, ooh, maybe I'm being a little
that's a little on
too
the
much.
nose. Yeah,
I don't want to go home, so I'm going to do a whole lot more work.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure some of that maybe comes into it. Like, I don't. That's a professional, personal relationship that I was like, I'm not crossing. I don't
Yeah,
have any.
that's fair. I don't need some like drunken confessions or anything.
Yeah. Like, part of me doesn't
I don't
care.
really want to be friends with you, so all right.
Part of me doesn't really care to be a supervisor, like, because I feel like I would be one of those supervisors that's just like, I don't care. Why are we wasting our time with this? Like,
Yeah, like that's the worst part. There's just so much like stupid crap, and like if someone gets dinged up high, everyone gets dinged below them. You know, it's just like, okay, just get yelled at for nothing. Like you didn't do anything wrong. They just upset because of a number or something.
yeah. I think like a lot of our stuff now, like our district director. No, I'm not going down that road. Never mind.
Might be getting a little too real,
Yeah.
too in depth on this podcast.
Yeah. Well, because like we got an email the other day from like the big boss, like way high up the chain, that I guess that they are no longer doing secondary or courtesy activities for contingent counties. So any county that touches your county, you can no longer send a secondary or courtesy stuff to. So like for me, that goes all the way down to like Purcell, all the way north to Guthrie.
They never let me do a secondary for anything. Like I had cases that I had to drive like 4 hours to.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, that's not far enough for a secondary. I'm like, what are you talking about?
That's a full
I mean,
day
I'm
on the
getting secondary
road.
cases from like people from Oklahoma City, and you're telling me I can't do the same for them?
Yeah.
It's like, why are you lying to me? You just don't want to deal with it. Oh man.
Because like I would send a secondary, like I'm in Oklahoma City and I sent one to Shawnee. Like it was a 45-minute drive and we sent a secondary. Um,
Yeah, I think secondaries for like CPS are a little bit different though. But
yeah,
still, it was still like I know that I can have a secondary for this. You guys are just denying it to me for whatever reason. Like I don't know if they were just like, I don't want to bother this other county with it, or you're fine, you can do it, or what with it. But I was just like, that's annoying because I know that it's far enough for me to have a secondary.
yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. Like I don't understand that reasoning behind that, but I guess it
Especially
is.
when I had to visit, you know the kid I'm talking about, but I had to visit him weekly. You know,
Yeah,
that's a 5 hour trip. Just driving.
yeah, you were driving up to the city every week. Like,
Yeah, it's like, are you tell how are you telling me that I can't have a secondary at least one of these weeks? Like
yeah,
every other week or something.
because were you required to see him ever like weekly, or was it? I thought it was
Yeah,
only once a month.
I was required to see him weekly because he was in a shelter.
Oh, got you. Because if they're in like a home placement, is it monthly?
Yeah, yeah. If he's in if children are in like a foster home or a relative home or something like that, then it's monthly.
Yeah.
Even a group home, it's monthly. Just shelters. Shelters are weekly.
Okay. I think that's what I had in my brain then.
Yep. I don't really understand the reasoning behind it. I think just because shelters are typically crappier. But I don't know. I've seen some crappy group homes. Honestly, the system's kind of crappy
I mean, across the board.
across the board.
Yeah.
Like foster homes, they don't get enough support, and it takes a lot of time for them to get their money. Although a lot of the people that foster are really good people, actually. We always see stuff like Matilda or something where the foster homes are crap. You know that movie Matilda with the
Oh
girl with
gosh.
superpowers?
Yeah, I haven't seen that in forever. Holy cow.
Right, right. But like because the people she was living with were not her parents, but she was in like the system or something because it was like her uncle or aunt or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm lying. I think she was actually the daughter. Maybe I'm just full of crap. Maybe Matilda's a bad example. It's been so long since I've seen it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, listeners.
Send us a
I messed up.
correction.
Yeah, but I mean, I've seen a bunch of movies where like they're just like the foster care system and
It's
they just
just
represent foster families really badly, and that's I will tell you straight up that's not been my experience at all. Foster families have been really really nice and good, and
yeah.
they're in it for they've been in it for the kids. Um, I will say that is one stereotype that at least in my experience I was happy to discover was not true. But as far as like red tape and stuff like that, man, that stuff exists, and that's just crappy, honestly.
Yeah, I know I've complained enough about the red tape and stuff with with our job. Like,
Oh yeah, it's like Oklahoma doesn't want to have as many kids in the foster care system, but they have given no laws or support to help remedy that.
yeah, no,
And the laws they have are assumed to help remedy it, just hinder the work.
yeah,
So it's just kind of like, well, all right, that's cool. I hate these policies, but we'll do
yeah.
it.
I had another part of my fail on Friday. I had to stay late at the office, just kind of getting a case closed out, and then my supervisor didn't even look at it until it's like Sunday afternoon, and she was just like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna wait until." No, that was never mind. That was before that meeting. Um, but I got home. I guess I got home about like maybe like 6:45, 6:30, something like that. Sit down on my computer. I was taking my shoes off. I get a message from my supervisor saying, "Hey, one of the ladies that's in our group is on vacation and her kid needs a transfer. Is anybody able to do this to go to a foster home? And I'm just like, I really don't want to, but since I'm the oldest one now, I kind of have to. So I had to put my clothes back on and
You're
clock
so
back in,
responsible.
and I
You're so
got
responsible.
I got to drive a kid to Tulsa. So that was, by the time we got out of town, it was probably 8:30, 8:45. I was back home by 2. Like,
You should have been just like, hey, I'm gonna stay here and drink a little bit and take tomorrow off.
yeah. Well, it was a Friday night, so it's like I'm already off.
We're gonna go to Kilkenny's and do get a hotel room or something.
Yeah. If I wasn't in a state SUV, like, it was nice. Like the turnpike is up to 80 now, so that part was nice.
That's true. I will say Kilpatrick Turnpike's really nice when you don't have to pay for the pot for the turn or for the pike passes or whatever
Yeah.
at the toll roads. Dude, I think what was it? I was driving. I can't remember what turnpike I was driving, but it was like going there and back cost me like $20.
Oh yeah, like the from Oklahoma City to Tulsa is easy, like 15 at least.
Yeah, yeah, it's garbage. Like, man, Oklahoma has some issues.
Yeah.
That's why we need to vote, people. Like, oh lordy.
Because I know they're building that new part of that turnpike that spurs off of Kilpatrick to go down by like Hera and uh, down to 40.
Yeah, man. I just don't know why like these things are such issues in Oklahoma. Like these aren't like we're not talking about race issues or anything else like that. We're talking about roads. Like just get the roads fixed.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's like there's a place down here by my house that had it had traffic cones in front of it for literal months because it was just a giant hole in the concrete. And they would just put these cones up and didn't actually do anything about it. Finally came out to fix it. And by fix it, I mean they like put 2 tablespoons worth of like asphalt in it and called it good. And it's like
That sounds like yeah, that sounds like my entire road for the entire time I've lived there. We have a we have a company that lives at the end of our road that has semis coming in and out, and those semis just destroy the road. And like their idea of fixing it is fill it with gravel and then destroy it again, or fill it up with like 2 tablespoons of asphalt.
Yeah.
So I know exactly what you're talking about there. I'm just like, what? How are we gonna fix this problem? Like,
Yeah.
can we not just fix a problem and keep it fixed?
Somebody with even a little bit of common sense be put in charge of this project, please?
Like better roads has got to be like a bipartisan issue. Like it's this can't be like a Republican versus Democrat thing. Everyone wants better roads, you know? Like how hard is this?
Yeah. But no, we're just gonna ignore it. But okay.
Oh man, it's just so funny. Politics is so annoying, and we're gonna probably hear a lot more of it since November's coming up. We got the first presidential debate coming up, and
Yeah. So a little bit of just a little bit of politics. We went to my in-laws' house this weekend for my niece's birthday party, and they live in small town Texas, and they were actually Anderson Cooper went to their town because they were like the only town or county, something like that, that was 100% voted for Trump in the last election. So Anderson Cooper showed up in this tiny backwoods hillbilly town. So of course, like, they start talking politics. We show up and I have my mask around my neck just because, we had to stop on the highway to go to the bathroom, and I'm so used to just throwing it on whenever I go into the gas station. I still
Yeah,
had it
and
on.
COVID-19's a myth, so why
Yeah.
wear it on your face?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a Democratic ploy.
Yeah.
I understand. I understand.
So like I remember
God will protect me, and so will magic. It's
yeah.
fine.
Like walking into the gas station off the highway, I people just staring at me because I have my mask on. It's just like why is this, why are you staring at me because my mask is on? Like you should be staring at the people because they're not wearing one. Like, but father-in-law kind of got down his whole BLM is a ploy, just like a terrorist organization. And we're just like, oh, I'm not, that's not fighting this fight. Like, it's not worth it.
That's rough, dude.
Yeah, it's like most of that side of the family has been blocked, not blocked on Facebook, but unfollowed. So it's like, I'm not.
And you always know it's like the poorest people and like the people that are on drugs that are all about that stuff. It's just, like that's not always the case, but it's just like I know it's really funny. There's like they're giving the billionaires the tax cuts. They're not giving you the tax cuts. I don't know why you're so gung ho for them.
Yeah, and like I'm sure my in-laws have their reasons for it. I'm just like I don't talk politics with any, like I don't even talk politics with my own family. So it's like
if propaganda is a reason for it, then yes, I'm sure they do.
yeah, I'm just like I'm not just not holding that conversation with you in general. So it's just it is what it is at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been interesting. I mean, I've been very open about my views, at least with like as far as like Democrats, Republicans. I hold some conservative views and some liberal views. I'd say more liberal views since Trump is the head of the party, and I just absolutely hate Trump.
Yeah.
He has definitely made me more liberal, I would say, because I'm just like, yeah, I don't care, get him out of there. But I mean, it kind of makes you want to talk politics on this podcast, but I know that we haven't really. I guess we have actually. We've broken that rule all the time. We're not very good, consistent.
Just
when it comes to rules that we lead on the podcast.
I mean, they're all rules that Finn makes up and Finn breaks, so then we just follow suit. So it is what it is.
That is true. That's true. That's kind of our podcast. It's like, so we're not going to do this, but yes, we are.
Yes,
we
are.
We're going to talk about this. I lied. We're definitely going to talk about this because after I said I didn't want to talk about it, now I'm thinking about it. And now I want to talk about it.
Now I want to talk about it.
Oh man.
Oh goodness gracious!
If we're talking about politics, I will end on one statement that I think everyone listening should know. It's always vote. I mean, if you don't vote, then you don't have a voice. And if you're gonna, I mean, no matter what your view is on it, or on any position or something like that, abstaining from voting is basically saying that is taking away your own voice in your own opinions. Like you have no right to complain if you never voted,
Right.
And if your reason for not voting is because you don't like the choices for president, well, I got some news for you. The ballot has a lot on it, and only one of those things is president. So there's a lot more to it than presidency. You can't build a good government from the top down. It starts from the bottom up. And local elections are just as important. You can't build your castle on sand.
Oh, right. I wasn't expecting a actual bad words.
I was thinking about that. Yeah, I know. I was thinking about it like 3 or 4 days ago because I just saw like I have some friends on Facebook that, and I hate using the term, but it's it's way more accurate than I want it to be, but they're like feminazis.
Okay.
where like, no, I'm all for feminism. Okay, I love women. I think they deserve every bit of equality from men, and I'm not ignorant enough to realize that women are treated differently than men, because they are. I mean, anybody who's different from you treat differently. I mean, that's just how it is. That's how human psychology works. And so I'm all for it, women equality and stuff like that. But like, it was just one of those things that like they always post something, and sometimes I get annoyed with it. Sometimes most of the time I agree with what they say, and sometimes I get annoyed with it because I'm just like, what are you even griping about? Like, I don't understand what the complaint is, and I've seen it like 3 or 4 times where they post like, I'm not going to vote for Biden or Trump because they're both rapists. And I'm like, so I'm not going to vote at all, kind of a thing. And I'm like, that's still vote. You don't have to vote for president. Like, if you don't like both options of president, great. I mean, don't vote for Joe Jorgensen because libertarians are awful. But I mean, that's fine. But there's just so much more to it than the presidential election. And like, when we ignore the other stuff in the election, we get people that are in the Senate for 35 years that make a career out of it. And you know those guys are corrupt.
Mm.
I mean, look at Jim Inhofe. He freaking laundered money and he freaking did insider trading for his stocks during COVID-19. Like, he took advantage of us and his money on insider knowledge. Like, that's illegal. And he's been a senator for Oklahoma for like 30 years. So it's like, when we just focus on one election, we ignore that stuff. That stuff slips through. We get like corrupt sheriffs that intentionally target black people because they're racist, or we get or corrupt councilmen that usually launder money. That's fraud is a big thing in government, apparently, after I read a lot about it. But we also have state questions that are important. It's just like, there's so much more to it than just presidency, and we ignore everything else other than the presidency. I'm not saying the presidency is not important. Just saying you can't build your castle on sand, and the presidency is the top of that castle, and the local elections are the foundation. So if you ignore the foundation, it's just like our Oklahoma roads. We ignore it, and they fall apart.
Then they ruin your axle.
They ruin your axle. They commit fraud and launder everything.
You have to spend more money to fix the car than you would have just paid to fix the road in the first place. You hurt yourself in the long run.
Then you pop a tire on a water drain.
Now you owe AAA a whole bunch of money. Like, oh, good Lord.
That is like, whether you're Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Green Party,
Green
insane.
Party? Is that a thing?
I think it's, yeah, I'm not sure what it is. I feel like it's the Democratic equivalent of the Tea Party for the Republicans. Where like there was the Republican Party, and then for that like 4 years we had that Tea Party thing pop up.
Yeah.
That was just like, we're Republicans, but we hate everything. I think the Green Party is like the Democratic form of that. I'm not super sure.
Fair enough. Yeah, see, I don't follow politics near enough at all. Like the little stuff like that. That's not.
Well, like just look at what's going to be on the ballot and literally take 30 minutes to look up names. Like, yeah. I'm not saying you got to do like, because when you run politics, your opponent is going to smear you no matter what. I mean, that's just part of it. They want to win, and so winning is making the other person look bad as well as making themselves look good, whether it's true or not. So it's just kind of like I kind of not like instead I look at the stuff that's factual, like with Jim Inhofe, that I know is true, where Jim Inhofe, did insider trading. He sold stocks before COVID happened. He laundered money and committed fraud on his own businesses and people that he's worked with in his regular businesses. Like that stuff I know is true, and it's written down and been public knowledge. People just ignore it. So I definitely look up that stuff. But as far as like everything else in somebody that I don't know, I just look up their policies. Like if I think that they have some good ideas, and they seem like a potential candidate that I want to vote for, then I'll look deeper into them. But like it doesn't take very long. It's just 30 minutes. It's like a quick Google search. Each one of them, unless they're just incompetent, and if they're incompetent, you don't want to vote for them anyway. They should have their own website with their views and what they want to work on in politics and everything else like that. So both of these things are just a quick Google search away.
It's crazy how that works in the world we live in now.
Yeah, like it's not hard. Just take some time. Like I'm not asking you to vote Democrat or vote the way that I want you to vote. It's your voice. It's not my voice. You're not speaking for me. I'm not speaking for you.
But you should know what you're getting into and know what you're doing in the
Yeah.
first place.
An ignorant vote is a bad vote.
Agreed. Oh, okay. We're sitting at about 46 minutes.
I went longer on that political tangent. I wanted to say that one thing, and then we kind of talked a little bit about it because you were like, "Well, I'm impressed."
Yeah, no, it's all good. So I normally try to avoid those kind of talks for too terribly long, but when it happens, it happens. Whatever.
I think it was productive, and it was something that I needed to say. So whether the viewers wanted to listen to it or not, I felt better about it.
Yeah, I feel better, and that's what matters. Dang it!
Yeah, this is our show.
Yeah, this is
the listener show. So sorry, guys.
Therapy for us.
It's like we ain't getting paid for this. I'm just talking.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, I vote we skip number 2. I say that'll be a decent one to talk about whenever Finn's actually back.
Yeah,
So
and I actually know a lot about. I think that would be interesting. I'm excited to talk about that.
Yeah, so
we'll keep it for later.
I think some more stuff is coming out about it anyway, so that kind of works out. Okay, so what have you been playing anything this week?
I did play a little bit of just Assassin's Creed Origins. I was trying to finish that. I got into silver in League, so yes, I'm a garbage player, listeners. Thank you.
Surprise, surprise.
But I haven't been in silver for a while now, so I was really proud of myself for getting there. And I haven't been completely terrible in silver, which is also an equally proud moment. And I played normals, and some people were so try-hard on normals that I called them losers. And they got really upset with me and wanted to Discord chat with me and wanted to fight me IRL. And it was great. It was so funny.
They wanted to fight you IRL.
Oh, man, it was so funny. Dude, like, it was a normals game. And I was practicing AP Shyvana jungle. Like we weren't, dude, I wasn't doing anything. And it wasn't, like, our mid was playing Brand against the Katarina. And, like, he was just running it down. Like, it was 10 minutes. He was 0-6.
Yeah.
Like, and I could do nothing about it. Like, but, flaming that dude on normals, by the way, not ranked. This is regular League where you just play and shut your brain off, and it doesn't matter what happens because there's nothing involved.
Yeah.
We're just like pinging the crap out of this Brand and like not being constructive at all. And then they would be mad at me when I would try to help them a little bit or just like poke Katarina off of tower, and then she would just tower dive me and kill me because she was so fed. So it's just like, I was like, you guys are getting so mad. You guys are such losers. Like that's such a loser mentality. So I called them losers, like straight up. We had a Camilla talk, and she was just like, she got so mad when I called her a loser.
I am not a loser.
like, I don't know why that insult just touches their soul or something. But it was perhaps the funniest freaking thing I ever done or heard, because it was just like she was just like, you know what, just call me on Discord, and then dropped her username or his username or whatever, and I was like, why? So he could be a loser to me in IRL? Like in real life.
Can confirm Mage is toxic on League.
I was talking to this person. It was glorious.
You earned my toxicity, ma'am or sir.
Dude, I'm not an angry gamer in the slightest. And like Conan, you can contest to that. Like I am very non-angry. I let things fly off of me like water off a duck's back. But like this person was just annoying and stupid. And like I never understand people that get that upset on a normals game. Like I could maybe sometimes get it on a ranked game because there's some stuff involved. Like I want to get the gold to get that Victoria skin. And so when someone is like actively trolling and preventing me from getting that goal, then yeah, I'm going to be a little upset about it. So I understand when people get upset on that stuff. But this is like a practice game. This is where you're like, I'm trying a new champ and trying to do something different.
Yeah.
Because I want to see how that works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. You know? So why get mad about it? This is exactly what normals is for.
This is why we're here, to do dumb stuff.
Not even be dumb, but just like new stuff that you're not used to. And of course it's low elo too, so you're gonna be bad. You know? So you're bad. You're a bad gamer anyway, and you're playing something new, which makes you worse. You know, so it's like there's no point. There's no point in getting upset about that stuff. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah, there's no point. It's, oh man.
So it was really funny. I don't think I've ever gotten anyone that upset at me before.
Yes,
that's probably not true, but dude, I made this person mad. It was really funny.
I still don't even didn't really even process what it is they were mad at. Like
they were mad at me and Brand or something. I don't know. Like Brand was like 0-15 by the end of the game, which is excessive for sure. I mean, I couldn't do anything that game. Like that Katarina was like, one-shotting everybody.
doing Katarina things.
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't forfeit. I tried, but it was like no or whatever. So I don't even know why. I don't know why they were mad. Like it's just one of those things where it's just like, okay, like there's definitely not a way to stop her. None of us had CC. None of us had CC to stop her. So we were playing bad champs against that matchup anyway. So it was just there wasn't any point to get upset about it because it's like, what are we gonna do? You know. It's basically the equivalent of a Fed E with Gunso's Rage Blade or something.
Yeah, like, what am I going to do at this point?
They're going to 3-shot us and then have resets and kill the rest of the team, and they're not going to get tower shots because they flash out of there, So there's nothing you can do about it. We should have just forfeited.
Yeah, just let me get out.
But man. It was so funny. It was so funny.
I haven't really played a whole lot of new stuff. The Hitman 2018 Hitman, I think, was free on Epic a while back, and I guess I realized I had it and got it installed, so I was playing it for a little bit. I was having some fun with it, and I realized I am not patient enough for it.
Yeah, that's the problem with stealth games, because I'm exactly the same way. Like, I want to get in there and do something, and waiting for that person to turn around is just awful.
Yeah. See, and it's one of those deals, like, it has the tutorial mission, and it's like, okay, I want you to do it this way and go in and do this and blah, 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 and that's what you do. Okay, cool. And then you get going into the other stuff, and it's you. There's no like you have to do it this way kind of thing with the first couple missions. It's just, hey, as long as he's dead, like I'm cool with that. Kill him however you want. And it's like, okay, I get what you're going for, but give me some parameters here. Hold my hand a little bit more than that, please.
You're a hitman. You kill people. What
Yeah.
else do you need to know?
I don't know. I guess just the mechanics of it and stuff like that were just kind of like throwing me off. But
No, you get it. I understand where you're coming from. I was just being a jerk.
oh,
You know how I am.
you jerk.
Yep, awful human being.
But between that, playing my Factorio, still enjoying it. I'm starting to slow down with it. Try to probably start getting into League or something a little bit more. Just
Dude, we can climb together. We whooped them when we do it that one time.
yeah, that one we did. It did turn out pretty good.
I was pretty happy. I also needed that win because I think if I lost one more, I was going to get demoted back to bronze.
So I helped you out.
I was real happy about that win.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. I've got a couple would you rathers that we can kind of talk through.
Sure thing.
Down for that? Okay. So I've got would you rather have regeneration or healing? So with your regeneration, I thought of it like Wolverine. So it would allow you to perfectly heal only yourself of any like wound, disease, missing limb, stuff like that, which it would pretty much make you immortal.
Right. Is it like Wolverine regeneration or like Deadpool regeneration, where like he can get his head chopped off, but he still will survive and regenerate?
I would think of it like that. Either one of those, honestly.
Because Wolverine, I guess it's technically the same thing, depending on what comic you're in, but I've never seen, at least in the movies wise, Wolverine's never got his head chopped off and survived. Whereas Deadpool did. So
okay, so yeah, if you want to think Deadpool wise, like that works. So either like regeneration like that, or like healing, which would allow you to heal yourself and other people, but just kind of like a healer in a video game, like you're just giving people like health packs kind of thing, as opposed to being able to completely like regenerate yourself.
Okay, so I am I allowed to heal myself with healing? Even though it's not as complete as regeneration?
Yes, but it would just like, yeah, it would just be the same as like, okay, I just took a buttload of medicine. Like, healing allows you to heal yourself and others of almost all wounds, but cannot regenerate your own or someone else's limbs, head, etc.
So what you're saying is, do I want to be immortal or do I want to actually help people?
I guess if you break it down like that, yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Like, so am I selfish or am I selfless? Sort of. Man, that's hard. Because, like, if I break it down morally, like, I'd have to choose healing. Because it's like, then I can heal everybody. Even though it's not as complete, I could probably bring someone to from the brink of death. But I can't regrow limbs or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can save a lot of lives doing that.
Doing the healing.
But also, if I had regeneration, then, like, who cares? I can do whatever I want.
I see where you're going, and my side of that is like, okay, if you were, Wolverine or Deadpool and you're a superhero, awesome. You can use the regeneration because you're in mortal peril constantly.
Yeah, but do you still feel pain? Probably.
I'm assuming so.
Yeah, so, like, I mean, just because you can doesn't mean you'd want to. I don't know. Like, are you strong enough willed to get your limbs chopped off and keep fighting? Because I feel like that would hurt.
I mean, I'm not.
Hurt a lot.
I'm not about that life. Like, I would much rather be able to help other people. like, and still help myself to some degree, but like, I feel like if you know that you're gonna regenerate and you're essentially immortal, like you're putting yourself into issues that like you would then put yourself into situations that
Yeah, but then what if like the government takes you and then does like inhumane experiments on you because they know you won't die?
I mean that's a side of this you have to think about. Like
I know, like it's like I could probably lead to a lot of advancements in biology if I was immortal and they just did whatever they want to me. But that's a lot of pain, you know.
it is.
Also, if I chop my penis off, does it grow back bigger? Like,
I, of course you would go that.
yeah.
Just
That was-
a
that was-
fraction of an inch smaller every time.
Worse, no. It doesn't get any thicker though, so it's just like a needle.
Yeah. Length is the same, but the girth changes every time. Okay.
Jesus, that's crazy.
Yeah, okay, we're going places I don't want to go.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh man, I don't know. I feel like I have a lot of self-preservation tendencies. So maybe regeneration over healing.
Yeah.
But then I feel bad because it's like I have that, but I could get healing and I could save so many people. Well, you know, it just I don't know. Like I'm gonna pick regeneration.
I'm going the healing on my end. Like, see, that one was an easy one for me because I was interested to see how y'all thought about it, or you, but
I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, it's like, do I care about myself more than other people, or do I care about other people more than myself? And I don't know. I think realistically, probably care about myself more than other people. It sounds jaded and mean and awful.
but I mean at the same time, like the healing part of it, you would still be able to heal yourself. Like,
That's true. But with regeneration, then it's like nothing could ever happen to me. Not permanently, at least.
yeah, meh,
So it's just kind of like maybe mental fortitude, though. I don't know.
yeah.
Man,
It's
it's going to do some messed up things to you.
see that part of it gets kind of weird, but okay.
Yeah, it does.
My next one,
Dude, I could sell my organs at the black market and make bank.
you could
Oh
just
my god. I could just keep cutting out my heart and selling my heart. And I would make like $500,000 every single time.
worth. You just do that like once or twice a year, and
You know?
you're done.
Millionaire.
Yeah,
Where are you getting all these organs? Trust me, I know it looks awful, but it's not illegal. And then I'm saving other people.
it's a win-win-win. Everybody benefits
Yeah.
from this.
And I could just have someone anesthesia me or whatever, put me under, so I don't even have to feel anything.
Just honestly, they could just like shoot you. Like,
Yeah, just in me.
yeah, and it's just like Kenny from South
Yeah,
Park.
you know
Like,
what?
I'll be back next episode. It's
So-
fine. Just
So, like human consciousness is in the brain. So if they removed my brain and I regrew a new brain, am I still myself?
we are getting into theoretical stuff that I'm just like, I have no idea, my dude.
That'd be crazy. That would be crazy. I think I'd be like, if I had regeneration abilities, that would be like where I draw the line. It's like, hey, anything below the head, all right?
I ain't trying to
Up here.
remember none of this.
I ain't trying to metaphysical myself, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want two of me. I don't want my brain to grow up a new body or my body to grow a new brain. All right. I don't know what that's going to do. I don't want that. I don't want to try it. I don't.
Not about it. Hard pass.
I'm not even going to test it. We're just going to ignore that. Anything else is fair game.
Yeah.
I can go into like but you could do some cool stuff with regeneration like that, like being immortal, where I could just like go to like war-torn countries or whatever, or like things that people would be too afraid to go into because they're like, that's like a 99% chance to die. And I'd be like, I'll do it. Go in there, probably get shot a dozen times, and then save those people or whatever,
Mage is part of SEAL Team 6.
Yeah, still Team 6. The government would probably force me into something like SEAL Team 6. We know America.
Yeah. You have to pay your dues to your country, all that sort of
They
stuff.
would put me in like the CIA or something because they knew that no matter what's going to happen, even if I get caught, I'm not going to die. So they're like, there's no risk. Well, yeah, but I'm still going to get hurt.
Yeah. That's the point here.
They are going to torture me, and it's not going to be fun. Get better at your job, scrub.
Thus the
All right.
word torture. Okay. I've got another one too that's a little less serious. Would you rather have nostrils that ejaculate every time you laugh or smile, or a butthole that screams in agony every time you're around someone you find attractive?
Okay, so we know how much I laugh. Damn it. Did it again.
It's all right.
So we know how. All right. Recruit. All right. Starting up again. So we know how much I laugh. So obviously I'm going for the screaming in agony. I find a lot of women attractive, so it's going to happen a lot, but I feel like it's going to be less gross and less messy for the screaming in agony part of that for me.
Okay.
Because that's just like, you'd have to like take like 4 boxes of tissues everywhere you went for the ejaculation thing. At least for me, I'm just like constantly blowing my freaking nose.
So I wonder if there like distance to it? Is it semen or is
No,
it
it's
just boogers?
So it's like, my bad. I thought it was more like semen-ish from the way it sounded, because
Okay.
that's what I think of when ejaculate. I guess technically, dictionary terms, it's not technically
always
true.
Just that? Yeah.
Yeah, like diction-wise, it's not, but connotation, I feel like it is. Which, for listeners that don't know what that means, diction is the dictionary definition of it. Or, I'm sorry. Yeah, diction is not to be confused with dictation, which is how you pronounce things. But diction is the dictionary definition of it, and connotation is the way people perceive the word.
Yes. Okay. You took me on a trip right there, and I was not prepared for that. You got to warn me before we go on trips like that.
Sorry.
But
yeah, so connotation means a big thing. It's how people perceive the word when it's spoken. Like, you could say, like, a lot of words in the English language mean different things, or have different meanings behind it depending on how you say it or your inflection, and that's the connotation.
Yes. Okay. What was the point of that distinctions?
So that's what I was saying. I was like, so the connotation for ejaculation to me would be like semen.
Gotcha. Okay, got you. Okay, I'm back on the same page now.
The diction for ejaculation is anything that squirts out, I assume.
Yeah. See, that's one of those things I don't want to Google to have on my search history.
Incognito mode, man.
Yeah.
I just want to look up what this word means. I'm not being a pervert, I swear.
Yeah. See, like, I feel like I would rather go the screaming butthole Like,
That's exactly what I was saying. Like, I would definitely do the screaming butthole.
yeah, because I feel like that's less of a physical. You have to be prepared to like catch and
Yeah,
clean
for sure.
up. Like,
Yeah, just like that's exactly my reasons, man. We are
yeah,
on the same page. Like, it's just the ejaculation just seems dirty. Like, it's just like that's just messy. I
yeah.
don't
It's just
I don't want to clean up my face every single time I laugh, and I laugh a lot.
yeah. As I say, I'm not about this. Yeah, no.
You know, just maybe like a joyless person trying not to laugh every time. But then Conan's going to get in hot water with his wife because his butthole is screaming.
God.
So it's lose out of the way.
Oh man.
Or she's going to like, what if? So JoJo's like with you and your butthole's not screaming, and she's just like, so I look off for the day.
Oh,
That's exactly what's going to happen to you, Conan.
yeah. I kind of forgot that the end of that was different. So every time you laugh, your nose jizzes, or your butthole screams every time you find somebody attractive.
I mean,
Ah.
sometimes people are just ugly in the morning. It doesn't mean that you don't love them. But JoJo might get offended if that butthole ain't screaming 24/7.
That is quite the sentence. That is quite the sentence there. See, like
like
after saying that now, like part of me wants to go the other way. Like,
I don't want to get hot water with my wife. I love my wife.
yeah, exactly. Like, oh man, yeah, you made me change teams. I'm going with the first one now. That is not what I thought I was going for, but you make good points. Oh.
Yeah, there it is. That's it, man.
All right, we save that. I pulled out 3, but we can save it for next week. But
Yeah,
all right.
those interesting discussions.
Yes. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our wins of the week. Mage, what's your win this week?
Well, I mean, I survived the Black Mesa. I finally. So, part of my 2-week hiatus, I guess. It wasn't really a meaning hiatus. I was busy these last 2 weeks. But part of it was I was doing sinus and allergy testing. Because I've had sinus. Well, I felt like it was sinus issues for a while. Like, I've always had issues with like breathing through both my nostrils. Ever since I was a kid. I always got sinus infections and headaches, and recently I've had multiple ear infections, which is just, as an adult, that just shouldn't happen. So I finally went to the doctor and figured out, or was trying to figure out what was going on. I got me with an ear, nose, and throat specialist, and we did allergy testing. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Sometimes the Discord program likes to freak out on me.
Oh.
So, anyway, so I did the allergy testing, and I didn't. So surprise, I'm like not allergic to anything. I had a small reaction to pecan tree pollen, which is a seasonal thing in the spring.
Yeah.
Like, and it was minute. Like, the lady wasn't even sure to really consider it, but it was like just enough where she's like, I'm gonna go ahead and put it. So it's like, so what are all these sinus issues coming from? And so my doctor's like, well, we're gonna do a CT scan of your sinuses and see if there's just something off. He did look at my nostrils, and I had like a slight deviation to the left on my left nostril, but he didn't seem that concerned about it. So I got my CT scan done Friday, and I'm just excited to see the results and figure out what's going on. Like, I guess it's not really a win of the week, but I'm glad that things are happening.
Yeah.
Something just screamed on your end and kind of freaked me out.
Yeah, I sneezed. I'm sorry. I muted myself on the recording, but I don't guess Discord caught it. I'm sorry.
Dude, it was legit. It sounded like one of those jump scare videos.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, I had a sneeze sneak up on me. I'm sorry.
I had to figure out if like something popped up on my phone, like if I had a malware virus or something. I'm like, what the heck?
No, it was just old Conan Jones. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good. That was funny though. That was funny. And how appropriate when I'm talking about sinuses and allergies that you
Yeah,
sneeze.
I'm sneezing.
So I don't know what's going on, but hopefully the CAT scan will
Get you some answers. Like,
get me some answers, and if I need to have some kind of surgery or if it's just in my brain, I guess at least then I'll have peace of mind. I don't know.
yeah, a little bit of. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but yeah, I know what you mean. Well,
So it's like I'm glad that I'm not really allergic to anything, but also it's kind of concerning because I'm like, what's going on then?
yeah.
You know?
Why do I feel like trash all the time?
Yeah, like I know this is more than just depression because I deal with that all the time. Just kidding.
I'm constantly depressed. I know what that feels like.
Yeah, I know what that feels like.
Oh man. Well, my win this week is that I was born. I had to go Tuesday to get my birth certificate, and now I have proof on paper that I was born because me
Woo!
being alive and standing in the doctor's office in the DMV is not enough to prove that I'm alive, and I had to get that piece of paper to prove that I'm alive. So
What for? Like, were you trying? What kind of document were you getting the birth certificate for?
so my driver's license expired at the end of August, but I have my CDL from driving the bus before. So to renew your CDL, you have to make an appointment at a particular place that's not just the regular ass DMV, unfortunately. So like I went I I had to try to schedule this appointment, and they're like, "Oh no, like you have to go to these special places. You can't just come to the DMV to do it like a normal person. Yours is complicated." So then I had to go through this whole process of trying to find my birth certificate and pull out all of the bills that show I live where I say I live and all this sort of stuff. And I couldn't find my birth certificate anywhere. So I had to put in for a copy of my birth certificate. So I finally got that back. And then I was able to finally actually sign up for an appointment to get the stupid thing renewed, but they're so backed up that I don't have an appointment until like the middle of November to get a new driver's license. So now I'm just like, well, hope I don't get pulled over before then.
So they wouldn't take your social security card or number?
No, they take that also, but I have to have like 7 forms of identification.
Because I'm trying to figure out, like, I mean, I feel like some bills with your home address and your social security card, I feel like that would be enough. Like,
you would think so, but like they want the blood of my firstborn, like
they want you to sacrifice your child to Satan.
you know, like just the standard DMV stuff, like
make a pact with the devil.
Yeah.
That's all we're asking.
Yeah. Nothing crazy here, guys. Come on now.
Make a contract with the Fae.
Yeah.
Some straight witchcraft stuff.
Yeah. No, so I got my birth certificate finally. I had to make an appointment for that. Picked it up on Tuesday. So I am who I say I am. Dang it.
I'm glad you were born too, Conan.
Yes.
You become a good friend over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff.
All right. We're like an hour 20 in, so let's wrap this puppy up.
I kind of miss talking to you all, so maybe I went a little bit hard on the moving my mouth.
It's all
It
right.
happens sometimes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you were kind of gone for a while, so we were kind of just playing catch up. But all right, well, if you stuck with us for this long with just us two, thanks for listening. You can follow us on Twitter, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify at Low Skill Gaming. If you have any questions or subjects you want to talk about on our next podcast, leave us a tweet or send us an email at lowskillgaming@gmail.com. We good?
We good.
All right. Okay, bye.
Bye.